Hi guys! So this is about my next read, and my next read is not the March book of the month pick, but my March book of the month pick is the second in a series. So I had to read the first book, and that book is Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite, and it's the first book in the Dorothy Gentleman series. So this book is sci-fi murder mystery, and it sounds really exciting. Let's see. Becky Chambers meets Miss Marple in the sci-fi ode to the cozy mystery helmed by formidable non-nonsense auntie of a detective. A mind is a terrible thing to erase. Ooh, we're erasing minds now. Welcome to the HMS Fairweather, Her Majesty's most luxurious interstellar passenger line. Oh, I didn't realize that it's a British ship, apparently. Well, it's better than in, Doctor Who. There was the episode in 11th Doctor where they were on the ship. And, you had to press. That was also about memory erasure. That's interesting. Maybe that was an inspiration behind the book. Room and board are included. New bodies are graciously provided upon request. And should you desire a rest between lifetimes, your mind shall be most carefully preserved in glass in the library, shielded from every danger. So they have minds in a library, apparently. So it kind of reminds me of Altered Carbon, I tried to read the book, but it just wasn't sucking me in. I really liked the first season of the TV show. The second season was a bit of a mix. I wish they could have done the third season, but it was canceled. Yeah. They should have given it more chances. I mean, they're not giving shows chances anymore. Like if they would have done this in the 90s, they would have canceled like Star Trek Next Generation. Well, actually, that was 80s, 85. But they would have canceled Star Trek Next Generation after the first season because the first season wasn't that good. But I think that it still had good stories, like the one where they look at like this virus or something when they like regress into these like base desire things. That's so fun. Anyway, it had some good episodes, I think. But yeah, we wouldn't have had the rest of Star Trek Next Generation and the rest of Star Trek. I mean, that would be a shame. I mean, no DS9. DS9 was actually one of the first really like kind of TV shows because back then TV shows used to be like episodic, like you would basically have an episode and then close, and you actually also wouldn't see much of the private lives of like the characters. It would be more focused on like the story that they're trying to tell. Like if you look at like the first couple of seasons of Next Generation, you don't learn much of the background of the characters. You learn little tidbits here and there, but not a lot, and then you progressively learn more and more. And DS9 was the first one that actually midway through the show, it broke that episodic thing. It still kept the episodic thing on mostly the B show because, there's always two stories in a TV show. There's the A story, like the main story, and there's always the B story, which is like the side story. And they still often kept the side story in the B, but when you get into the Dominion War, it's just one whole story. And the Dominion War, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then you have Voyager. Voyager is like first female captain. And Janeway was an interesting one, wasn't she? Oh, but I'm getting on a tangent. I could talk for hours about Star Trek. Yeah. If you want me to talk about Star Trek, then let me know. I mean, I literally learned English on Star Trek. I knew the word for phaser in English sooner than I knew the word pot. So, near the topmost deck of an interstellar generation ship, Dorothy Gentleman wakes up in a body that isn't hers, just as someone else is found murdered. Ooh. As one of the ship's detectives, Dorothy usually delights in unraveling the schemes on board the Fairweather, but when she finds that someone is not only killing bodies, but purposefully deleting minds from the library, she realizes something even more sinister is afoot. Ooh. Dorothy suspects her misfortune is partly the fault of her feckless nephew, Ruthie, who, despite his brilliance as a programmer, leaves chaos on his cheerful wake. Or perhaps the sultry yarn store proprietor, an ex-girlfriend of the body Dorothy is currently inhabiting, knows more than she's letting on. Whatever it is, Dorothy intends to solve this case. Because someone has done the impossible and found a way to make murder on the Fairweather a very permanent state indeed. A mastermind may be at work, and if so, they've had 300 years to perfect their schemes. So, it sounds very good, and there is an audiobook, but I'm going to read it. I didn't even check. But it's only 100 pages, and I haven't read anything with my eyeballs for a while, so I want to read it on my trusty little Kindle. And also it has LGBT, queer, so love that. Yeah, sounds exciting. And then I can move on to the next one soon. So that's great. Because it's supposed to come out on March 20th. So I'm probably going to post this a bit later. So it's because it came out on March 20th, but I have to read this first. So, yeah, sounds interesting. And I love sci-fi, like I said, and murder mysteries. So, right up my alley. And so, yeah. You love sci-fi. I haven't read much sci-fi nowadays because of the challenges I'm doing don't really give room for sci-fi. But yeah, tell me your favorite sci-fi book. What is it? And let me know if you've read this little story. It's only 100 pages, so I should be back soon. See you in that one. Bye. Hi guys! So, this is a review of Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. And I read this book in preparation for the next novella in the series, which is my March book of the month. And so what is this? What was it about? It's a novella, so it's only 100 pages. And I read it on the Kindle. I didn't listen to it as an audiobook. Yay me. I was actually feeding my son, and he chews really slowly. And I would put food in his mouth, and I would be like reading on my Kindle, food in the mouth, reading on the Kindle. I mean, if you fed a toddler, like he sometimes eats with a spoon now, but not always. But if you fed a toddler, you know that it can be really boring. And my ADHD brain just, no. Anyway, so this was a fun little story, and it was quick play, like fast paced, and it's about Dorothy, who's it's kind of a nice woman. I liked her. She's lovely, and she lives on this. She's been living for 300 years on board this spaceship called the Fairweather, and they're traveling from old Earth to what I'm assuming is New Earth. but I think their journey won't be complete for a couple of more centuries. And what they do is that there's this like library where they have storage for mines, and they upload their mines there, and they keep updating them. And then when their body dies, they can get a new one. Like they use the copy in the library of their mind to download it into the body. You could ask, is it still the same mind, or is it just like a copy of it? And you actually die, but then kind of continue. Though actually they are conscious in the library, because the ship is sort of like an AI. Well, I think it is an AI. And the AI spoke to her while she was in storage in the library. And so I'm assuming it's kind of a continuous thing. But yeah, that's an interesting question. There's actually a Japanese movie that deals with this question. It's about this a woman who is kind of like a model, but she's a single mom. And she's the first one to volunteer to sort of like a mind transfer into a younger body. And I'm not going to spoil this movie, but it's a very interesting movie. And I don't remember the title, but I'm sure the synopsis will lead you there. Anyway, I'll watch that movie and also read this book because it was a lot of fun. And I only gave it 4 stars because while I did love it, it wasn't perfect. And 5 stars for me is like perfection. But 4 stars is, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue reading the story. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So there's a murder mystery, but it really integrates the world really well. And the world building, especially for such a short book, is really well done. So like, I really enjoyed it. I want to get back on the ship. Like, I can't wait to read the next one. Because it will be so exciting to read another one. And the next one has a baby in it. I love stories with babies as long as they're, alive and not sick. But yeah, I can't wait to read that. And yeah, this was like a lot of fun. And it had an interesting solution, and you could follow along with the mystery. So that's also a huge plus. And yeah, solution was great. Personalities were great. Everyone is basically queer in this. I mean, seriously. She has a nephew who was. They actually, the way she got on the ship was that she didn't want to go originally. Her nephew was supposed to go with his mom, but her sister, his mom, died before going on the ship. I think they mentioned some sort of illness or something. Anyway, she died and they couldn't go on the ship. And he's really vital because he's like one of the lead programmers for the ship. And so he didn't want to go alone. And Dorothy was thinking like, okay, I don't want to live on Earth without having any family here, because she doesn't have like a family of her own. And so she just decided to go with him. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of sweet. I love a family that like keeps together, And also, so yeah, I really like them. Ruthie is the name of the nephew, and he has a boyfriend. And also we find out that Dorothy used to have a wife, but I'm not going to say more on that. But yeah, so everyone's queer, which I love. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And also the writing, I really like the writing. Like, Olivia writes really well. I like the way she described things. Like, it wasn't too much, it was just enough, and it was very, very nicely done. How can I say this? But it was good. And I'm generally not one for very flowery descriptions, but it was done very well. And also I liked how she had them do some stuff about coping on a ship for like 300 years, and they'll establish their own little lives and doing shops and stuff. And so yeah, it has a very rich like world. on the ship. So I hope she's going to write many more books in this series. And so yeah, it's the Dorothy Gentleman series, and I give it 4 stars. What more can I say? Read this little book. It's 100 pages. You can read it in a day. And also check out the next one, which is Nobody's Baby. I'll wait for it. Yay! Finally, a really good book. Maybe I should have given it 5 stars. We'll see. We'll see. I usually don't give the first book in a series 5 stars unless it's really perfection. But I may give it for the next one. We'll see. We'll see. And if Olivia, if there's any chance that you're watching this, I really loved you. So keep at it. And read my written review everywhere. You know, the drill. Oh, and before I forget, we have to put in a new number. Like, it's not 15 books that I read this year. It's 16 now. 16 books. I'm so good. I know. I think I saw someone read 16 books in like February, so. And I'm taking it apart. I meant to put like a stick. Like stick the back. But yeah. No. I'll do it someday. Procrastination. Bye.